All right, everybody, we're back with another episode. The post-fight Adrian Broner versus Adrian Granados fight. I have quite a bit to say actually, but I want to throw it to Dennis because Dennis has been in favor of Broner much more than I have in his career. But I will say this before I throw it to you, putting you on the spot a little. But I will say this before I throw it to you. I did fall for Broner this time. He was saying all the right things, and I thought, he was really going to dedicate himself. And by that performance, I feel like he didn't. But Dennis, what were your thoughts on the fight?
All right, like I said, anybody who know me know I've been pro Broner. I had his back, no matter what shenanigans, no matter what went wrong. And one of the things is, I feel like the way he approaches things, he knows how to say all the right things to get you to buy into the system. And then once you buy in, he'll flip it last minute and make you seem like the bad guy. Like I heard him saying, this is what bugged me. He said, people want me to stay at 140 my whole career. They act like I'm supposed to be 140 forever. I grew out the weight division. 2 weeks ago, he was saying, I can make 135.
Yeah.
I got a nutritionist. I got this. But they'll say, I be picking on guys if I fight 135. You said that. Now when people like, what the heck? How do you how do you go out the weight division? You say you can make 135. You blame us saying, hey, what do we want from you? You want us to stay at 140 your whole career? No, you didn't even start at 140. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my thing. I don't like that. Admit it. Be a man and say, you know what? I felt confident because I was starting to lose weight. But I just couldn't get to the point that I thought I can get to.
Yeah.
Sorry. Man up to it. The worst thing they can be is a person that won't own up to their own thing.
Exactly.
He didn't own up to it. That's why I was upset, first of all, because of those shenanigans. And I believed them. Because I was look, this is the thing. The gig is up, man. You want to be Broner, be aggressive, have a lot of activity.
Yeah.
Same format. Porter, Maidana, we've been seeing this. Even before, I forget the guy name.
Ponce de Leon.
Ponce de Leon.
Yep.
We've seen that early in his career.
Yep.
We've seen that is how you get to him. Mm-hmm. And it just seems like he don't seem to get that the format is already out when he can change it. The dude is super gifted and talented, but he has no stamina. Mm-hmm. It's a 10-round fight, and 8 rounds in, he's gassed.
He's gassed.
Now, I'll give him his hand, right? But that doesn't have any excuse for why you're in the corner. You switch the fight to 147. You should have energy because you didn't have to kill yourself to get down, right? That tell me 2 things: he don't train right and he don't eat right.
Mm-hmm.
He's a professional athlete, supposed to be elite professional athlete.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excuse for being gassed in the 8th round. He modeled himself about his big brother Floyd. When's the last time we seen Floyd gassed in the 8th round?
I've never seen Floyd.
When's the last time we seen Tim Bradley gassed in the 8th round?
Yeah.
When's the last time we seen Manny Pacquiao gassed in the 8th round?
Right.
I'm not being hard on him, but I was the guy that was riding for him for the longest. And now I got to call a spade a spade. Dude, you need to own up to your crap. You ain't trained as hard as you should be training. And I kept it real. You had it a draw.
Yeah.
I had it 6. You know what I'm saying? You had it a draw. You had it 6-6.
5-5 because it was 10 rounds.
Oh yeah, that's right. 5-5. You had it. I had it 6-4.
For Granados.
He lost for Granados.
Yeah.
And that's because he lost. In my opinion, he lost that last round. The last 30 seconds of the round. He tried to come in and steal it and hit him with some good, clean shots. But they don't make up for their lack of activity. Look, when Canelo used to have endurance problems and he was fighting in spurts, when Canelo started taking it serious and getting to the elite level, we don't see that no more.
Right.
That shows you when a fighter start taking it serious.
Right, exactly.
When you don't have simple problems like stamina. Canelo went and cleaned that up.
Mm-hmm.
You can fix stamina. You can't fix a chin if you don't got a chin. Like I said, he got a chin. He got heart. He got skills. But he ain't taking his training seriously, which is why fans like us, we can speak on things like that because it's your lack of dedication to your craft.
Right. We're not speaking, that's the thing, and I want to further clarify what you just said, and you can keep going, but we're not talking about his skills. Like, I will never bash anyone for their skills or their heart for getting even in the ring. We're talking about someone's effort. Effort. That's
right.
all that is effort. He's getting paid millions of dollars, you know what I mean, to put on a show. And granted, his fights are great. Let's not get it twisted. That was like an incredible fight to watch.
That's
but right now,
we're not saying he's boring.
We're
not saying he's a crappy fighter.
We're critiquing his effort.
He has a piss poor effort.
Exactly. But keep going. I just wanted to clarify that because people hear, you know what I'm saying, and take words however they want it. But keep going.
And this is why it bugs me because if he gave the valid effort of some of these guys like Tim Bradley that just willing to die in there, that like you know how good Broner would be.
Yeah.
And you know why you could beat Broner with activity because he don't throw as much. Paulie Malignaggi called it out and said, Granados just using the same. He's taking a page out of my book. He's just being busy because of the inactivity. Everybody knows that, man. Well, I don't get why don't you throw your hands. Now look, I'm even about to go as far as to say, look, his trainer, Mike Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
It may be time to let him go, man.
I felt this way for a while though. Are you just feeling this way now, or was this like confirmation? Was this like the cherry on top?
This is confirmation.
Okay.
This is what we was hitting on, but this is confirmation because either he got you to the mountain, but he cannot get you to the mountaintop. Because either you don't respect him enough for him to get you in shape, or he just don't know how to get you to that next level.
Right.
It's one of the two.
Right.
Now, you can still keep him around and still pay him like Floyd did with his father and his uncle. He still kept Roger around, but you see he made the switch to his dad.
Yeah.
You gotta make the switch. You're gonna have to make the switch. You need to look up Memo Alex Ariza ASAP, man.
Yeah.
Because he needs a strength and conditioning coach. He needs somebody in there pushing him, get him that extra energy because if he's going to get the Manny fight next, like we say he is, he's going to look bad, man, because Manny ain't even what he used to be. We all know this. Manny fell off, but one thing Manny still has is Manny still is busy. He still has activity. He's still going to let his hands go. He's not that fighter that keep going and going and going and going, but Manny still is busy enough to make him look bad.
Yeah.
There's no way he's going to beat Manny with those slapping shots every once in a while trying to catch Manny with something heavy. Because if you never catch it with something heavy, if you don't hurt him, you're going to wind up getting blown out like 9-3.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm telling you.
I agree. And see, and the thing that made me upset is, well, first of all, I want to say hats off to Granados because he fought his ass off. He was incredible.
My respect. I want to see him again.
And I've seen him in the past, but you know what I mean? It was like, he's fighting okay competition, but he looked really, really good. That being said, he just followed a simple game plan. We knew what was up. We know how to beat Broner. And he followed it. He followed it to a T. And Broner just had no answer. My thing is when Broner lets his hands go, I want to say it was round 8. I took notes, but I couldn't find it before we started recording. I want to say it was round 8, where it was about a minute stretch where Broner just let his hands. And that's probably why he was gassed after the round, because it was about a minute straight where he was just letting him go. He hit him with a right uppercut, 2 left hooks, and about 3 or 4 jabs. Flush. Granados didn't get hurt, mind you, but these were incredible punches, and he couldn't follow up after that. That was it. But the point I'm making is, and I've said,
bumps, and then it was like, oh, my load is gone.
Yeah, and I've said this in the past, is when he lets his hands go, it's a thing of beauty. It's like poetry in motion. He puts his punches together so well. He's so accurate. He's so crisp, but he can't do it for a whole fight. He can't even do it for a whole round. You understand what I'm saying? Right. I mean, we've seen it. Even against Marcos Maidana, I want to say it was like the 9th or 10th round where he caught Maidana with a straight right hand and hurt him. And he has power. He has real power. You know what I mean? He has real talent. And the fact that he made me fall for it, because I've never been on the Broner bandwagon. You know what I mean? I was kind of the wait and see approach. And what I saw, I said, he has talent. I never gave up in him, but I wanted to see, like, can you use this talent and come back from your losses and become better like champions do? You know what I mean? That's what champions do. They lose and they get better. But it's just not there. I don't know what it is. And like you, I mean, I think we do know what it is. It's he's not in shape. He doesn't have stamina. Yeah, he needs to switch his trainer. I don't think there's no way he has a nutritionist. If he has a nutritionist, they need to be fired. Because look at his frame.
Really?
Look at his frame. He is not big enough for 147. He looked tiny. Granados looked like a weight division above him in that ring. If we're being honest, that probably helped Granados more than it did Broner. And I said the opposite going into the fight. If you guys watched the video we put out before this one, I said I thought this was going to help Broner more because he wouldn't have to kill himself to make 140 and he would get the knockout. It was the opposite. He made weight, and so did Granados. There was that weight.
You made me say that, and I thought, like, that could be. But it seemed like it didn't even work. You know what that mean? You know what that mean? He didn't train hard.
No.
Because, you see what I'm saying? He didn't train hard to make the weight.
Yeah.
So you didn't make. It wasn't because you grew out the weight division. It was because you didn't put the work in and drop down to that weight class, and it showed.
Right, exactly. So my thing is, are you content with what you've done in the sport? If so, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, he has accomplishments. He's accomplished much more than 99% of boxers have, right? But if you're not, then you're not. Something's wrong. Then there's a disconnect in your mind. If he is not content and still thinks he can be world class, because that's not the way you get here. When I think of someone coming off losses or even a loss stronger, I think of Canelo Alvarez, gets schooled by Floyd, and comes back and has looked brilliant ever since.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, you even look at someone like Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz loses and then beats the dude who beat him. He made the necessary adjustment.
That's when you want to become elite. And you
right.
You learn from that and you fix things.
Right. And you would think, and you know what? And even without losing, because we've seen it from Floyd after the Castillo fight, something switched in him. You understand what I'm saying? Where he was already training hard then. This is just another example, but when there's signs of things like that, you know what I'm saying? When there's even small signs, the greatest of the great fix that. You know what I mean? They adjust to that and they keep going. I mean, even look at Gary Russell. Gary Russell loses to Lomachenko, comes back, he looks like an animal now. You know what I mean? And I just haven't seen that out of Broner. And I even posed a question to you, and you answered it because I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. I was like, when was the last time we saw a Broner fight and said, wow, he looks spectacular? Right. Even in losses, like we can say fighters have looked like Kovalev lost against Ward, but he looked spectacular. Both guys did to me. You understand what I'm saying? Like even in losses, you can look spectacular, but he didn't look spectacular against Sean Porter. He didn't look spectacular against Maidana. He didn't look spectacular against Molina in his comeback fight. He didn't look spectacular against Ashley Theophane or Emmanuel Taylor. And then you name, I forget his name. I believe he was Middle Eastern. Or of Middle Eastern descent. Khabib, yeah.
Something like that.
And he looked good then, and you're right. But that's one fight out of the last 6 I just named. You understand what I'm saying? And then thinking back, the last time I was really wild was when he was at 135, when he was just bullying people. And
that's what Eddie Hearn even said. He was like, you know what I'm saying? They asked what he thought about him to fight
Ricky Burns.
He was like, Broner, he was a great 135 pounder. But, now he's just a pretty good fighter. And that's what it is.
It's true.
It's like he said, I'm a 4-time world champion, 4 different weight divisions. I don't have to do anything else. That's what it feels. It
does feel like that. I will say this, though. And I wish I was going to text you this during the fight, and I didn't, so I have no proof. But everyone just take my word for it. I do believe he hurt his left hand. Because it was about round 4 when I noticed he was slapping him. He wasn't really sitting down on him, and he wasn't using his fists. They were like slaps with his check left hook. So I do believe that. That being said, that's still no excuse because he was still, like I said, late in the fight, like round 8 or 9, he landed some flush left hooks, and it didn't seem to bother him. I don't know if adrenaline took over or what, but at the end of the day, he has more talent than Granados. And like I said, I don't want to knock Granados because he performed brilliant. I know we've spoken so much more about Broner than we have about Granados on this episode.
I mean, it's because we know that Broner could have made that fight easier.
Yeah.
He could have been more spectacular. We know, and then that's the thing. If I didn't think there was another level that he can reach, I would give him the credit. They say, hey, he won. He did what he's supposed to do. Hey, congratulations, Broner, you the man.
Right.
Because I would say, I think that's the best Broner we can get. But I know that's not the best Broner we can get.
Right.
He's better than that.
He is. Or at least he has the talent to be better than that. We don't know if he's better than that, but he has the talent to be.
Better than that.
Right, exactly. And that's what's disappointing. That being said, to be honest with you, I'm looking much more forward to Granados' next fight than I am Broner's. to be after that performance. Because to me,
I was not entertained with this fight, with his performance. I'll say that, not the fight, but his performance. I was not entertained with his performance.
yeah, I was disappointed in Broner, but Granados earned himself a bigger shot, to be honest with you, because a lot of people thought he won the fight, including you. You know what I mean? So as weird as that sounds, the winner of this fight, to me and to I feel like a lot of people, his stock rose while Broner's stock went down. So, and this is the situation because 8 months from now, you know, someone's gonna when Granados, if and when Granados gets another primetime bout, they're gonna say, well, who is this guy? This is the snapshot moment because just because you lose doesn't mean your stock falls. That's what people have such a misconception with that. Losses aren't always losses. If you come in and still do your job, your stock can rise. And in this case, the winner's stock probably fell or at least remained the same. It certainly didn't go up. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm highly disappointed in Broner. I thought he could have performed much better than that. I thought he
should be next for both of those guys.
For Granados, I think I wouldn't be mad at a fight with Lamont Peterson if they can make that happen. Lamont looked good on the undercard. I think that would be a really, really good fight. I just need Lamont to not wear those shorts again. I mean, those things, Jesus.
Oh my God! He's about to run track.
Yeah.
About to run track or what, bro?
Yeah, but he looked good.
Fighter.
He did look like an MMA fighter, didn't he, with the shorts? But no, he looked really good. I thought he performed well. Convincingly beat. I don't know how to say his name. That was the dude who beat Mosley in Mosley's last fight.
Yeah,
and I can't say his name to save my life, but he's
but
he's a solid fighter too. And Lamont, you know, picked up the strap from him, so maybe we can mess around and get that fight. I think that'd be really good. As far as Broner, they're talking about Pacquiao next. At the end of the day, I'm the biggest reason why I'm not looking forward. I think this is the same for you because we've had offline conversation. The biggest reason that I'm not looking forward to Broner's next fight is because it's going to be at 147, and I just do not think he can compete at the highest level there. I think his best chance is to be at 140, where he's going to be the second best guy behind Crawford, build up some wins, build that fight up, and then who knows what happens when they fight. I would favor Crawford, but you know, you certainly wouldn't count out Broner's puncher's chance at 140. He packs a hell of a punch at 140. You know what I mean? He's fast and accurate, but yeah, man, I don't know. The Pacquiao fight maybe. The winner of Garcia Thurman would be next if he stays at 147. That fight would be easy to make because it's PBC. I mean, Khan maybe. That would be a solid fight. Khan and Broner. That would be. But I don't know. Just off the top of my head, it's hard because I don't want him at 47. I'd rather have him be at 140. Well, I mean, what do you think on both guys?
Granados, so he wants to be at 140. So I hear that Chris Algieri is going back.
Ooh, that'd be a good one. That would be a good one.
That's a nice fight, and I honestly wouldn't mind the winner of that fight. If they had that fight, and the winner can get like the winner of the Ricky Burns versus Julius Ndogo. They both fighting for the IBF and the WBC, so whoever's gonna win that's gonna wind up being a unified champion. So like say Granados versus Chris Algieri get the winner of that fight. I mean, that would be two spectacular fights that I would like to see. That fight didn't get the winner of it. But as far as Broner, if he's gonna, I want him at 140. I do. But if he, and I would like to see Broner at 140 versus Lucas Matisse.
Yeah.
And I want to see him. Prove that he can beat an aggressive fighter.
Yeah.
Show it. But if he insists on being at 147, some good fights for him that without him losing, or you like maybe get a Brandon Rios.
Yeah, that'd be
Jesse
solid.
Vargas. Fights like that, like Brandon Rios, Jesse Vargas, or Saddam Ali.
Yeah.
Those are guys that have names that he has a solid shake at winning. But if you throw him in there against Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia winner, I think he loses. If you throw him in there against Kell Brook versus Earl Spence winner, I think he loses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you throw him in there against Manny Pacquiao, I think he loses. If he does not change.
Right.
I think he loses.
Right.
Those fights. So the fights I named are good fights for him at 147, but it's not 140 is where I would like to see him contest.
I agree. I agree. So we can move on. I don't have too much to say about the fight coming up this weekend. I will reiterate again that I wasn't exactly disappointed because this week was supposed to be, or this Saturday was supposed to be Cotto versus Kirkland. I am not mad that that fight didn't happen. I am sad for Kirkland because it was a good payday for him and probably one of his last fights, but the fight itself just meant nothing. So the only fight we have now, which was another sort of reschedule, they had to get, is his name Gerald Washington, right? That Deontay Wilder's fighting. They had to get Gerald Washington because yet another Deontay Wilder opponent was tested for drugs. I don't know what it is about the dudes that are about to fight.
I think Deontay Wilder's like paying like his team to slip drugs on these guys or something because like, he cannot catch a break.
Yeah, he must be. He did put out a statement saying that it would have been dumb for him to fight a killer at that point. And I agree. I mean, there's no point in getting someone up when you're already more than halfway through your training camp. And you figure out this guy's,
right.
The guy you're training for is not fighting. You just get.
I think Gerald Washington is a better step up than the guy that originally popped off the drugs.
I thought so too, but at the same time, I've only seen, and I can't pronounce his name either. I need to get on these dudes because Europe is really starting to come out with these names, and they're boggling me. But I've only seen a little bit from him, and I've seen a lot more of Gerald Washington. So I feel like we could be saying that because we've seen more, but nonetheless, Gerald Washington isn't a pushover. I do expect Wilder to get him out of there, though.
He's an undefeated. He's a tall, strong, undefeated guy.
Yeah.
He's not. I don't expect him to beat Deontay Wilder, but you know what? When you get a last-minute pick, if you can get a solid, undefeated guy, I can't complain about that. Especially Deontay Wilder coming off a torn arm and a broken hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't get mad at that coming off of this. Now, if this is just him, he was healthy, and then he took this, I can say, okay, maybe you can step up. I can't get mad at this fight at all.
Right.
What I expect Wilder to get him out of there in about 7 or 8.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the same.
I think he wears down a little bit. He gets him out of there, then he does his little shuffle spins. Deontay Wilder's schedule that he has set up, I love it, because he wants the winner of Fury versus Joseph Parker. So that'd be a unification fight for whoever wins. I think Joseph Parker finds a way to win that.
Yeah.
And then if we see Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker, another undefeated, big, strong guy with a title, WBO versus WBC. Then he says after that fight, he wants to fight the winner of Klitschko versus
Anthony Joshua.
So then he says after that fight, he wants to fight the Fury. He wants to fight the big,
Tyson.
Tyson Fury. He wants to fight the main Fury.
Yeah.
So if he follows that format, I think that is a great lineup for him.
I agree.
If he goes, Washington, Parker to the Fury versus Klitschko. From the Klitschko Joshua to the Fury fight. Those are 3 awesome fights lined up. And if he can say if he gets all 3 of those, and I don't see a reason he shouldn't. If he gets all 3 of those and he wins all 3 of them back to back, I think we now not only have to talk about how him is the best heavyweight, we need to start ranking. Because we haven't ranked these guys like the heavyweights really high and pound for pound since Klitschko fell off.
Right.
But if he does that, we need to talk about him being a top 3 pound for pound.
Oh,
fighter.
Absolutely. There'd be no argument. You couldn't argue otherwise. There'd be no way you can. If he does all of that in a row, no way.
Yep. If he does all
even if he had like a tune-up in between one of those fights, that would be an incredible stretch.
Yeah, you got to put him. I feel like you got to argue, and you got to put him top 3 pound for pound.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I actually hadn't read that, but that is an incredible plan. I hope he does stick to that. That would be awesome to see that, because these heavyweights need to start. They're starting to topple a little bit, but they need to start. They need to start going at it. I'm sick of the Gerald Washingtons of the world. No offense to him, he's a good fighter.
It's a WBA title floating around. I feel like they should let Luis Ortiz fight for that, because he's been a mandatory for it.
Yeah, he's been really ducked, and he's a good fighter, but he hasn't looked good here in a little while either. I don't know if his age is catching up to him, but I'm surprised someone hasn't tried to.
He's flat-footed, and you know what? Last thing, I don't think he showed up because he fought Scott.
Malik Scott.
Knocked him out like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Malik Scott, why do locked him out like this? So I think he thought he was just going to go in there and walk right through him, and Scott showed his boxing ability. So that's why I give him the benefit of that on that. If he looks bad again, then you know what? I'm just going to call a spade on him too as well.
Yeah, I can hear that. But I do want to see him in a bigger fight, though. So I hope he does look good because he has the talent. And him versus Wilder, or him versus the heavyweights, it's so hard to pick the matchups you want to see because all of them against each other would be incredible to me. They all have, you know what I mean? Like, they all have really good styles. Not many of them box. Like, Deontay Wilder has the ability to box on the outside. We saw him do it against Stavern, but he's trying to get people out of there, too. You know what I mean? They're all in there trying to get there. No one's trying to fight to a decision at heavyweight. Well, the elite ones anyway, so maybe Tyson Fury. He didn't have the power like those other guys do, but he has the boxing ability to make it interesting. You know what I mean? Where, just like we saw against Klitschko, Klitschko's coming forward all night, and he just can't catch up to him. That's entertaining, but I mean, these dudes, I can't. This is to be, man, I'm going to say this every podcast. This year is going to be one of the best years in boxing in a while. We have some good fights scheduled already, and we have potential good fights later on in the year. I'm excited, man. All right, so that's it for us today. Thanks for watching. Remember to share, like our video, leave us a comment, like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram. I keep saying I'm going to make a Twitter, but I'm not even on Twitter like that, so I've been lying to you guys. I'm sorry. I'm probably not going to make a Twitter until I start using it some more. But hey, like I said, like us, message us, let us know what you like, let us know what you dislike. We'll respond accordingly. Have a good one.